Taking you around the world of live sports video production technology, it's the SVG Sports Tech On Demand video interview series. I have the pleasure now to be joined by Imagen's Chief Revenue Officer for the Americas, Perry Fetterman. Perry, we're going to talk a little bit about media management platforms. It's first off, wonderful to see you. How you doing? How's everyone at the team?
Everybody's great. It's great to see you too, and very excited to be here.
We really appreciate you taking the time and updating us on what you're seeing on the side of content management. It's been an aspect of the industry that's been burgeoning for quite a while. And now as we see storage size continue to increase and different workflows, be them cloud-based or on-prem, whatever it may be, it's really a low-key rather, fascinating side of the industry. So I'm wondering from a broad strokes, what are some of the key pain points or areas where you're looking to help your clients really solve problems right now? What are a couple of the key trends on the side of the industry that you're taking note of?
Absolutely. So, I mean, COVID changed everything.
Mm-hmm.
It changed the way that we work. It changed the way that we interact. It changed the way that we communicate. And everything kind of went remote. And with going remote, all that data goes remote.
Mm-hmm.
And what we're seeing and what we've seen, the biggest trend we've seen over the last, say, year, is, folks taking everything online, right?
Mm-hmm.
NBA, MLB, everybody, they're going online. They're taking everything online. They want everything accessible. We sit in this really sweet spot of allowing people to, monetize, to share, to, give attribution, you name it. We have that functionality. So it's really cool to see that come full circle for us. To see essentially the market come to us,
Mm-hmm.
right? The market needs are moving away from, the Dropboxes and the Google Drives and the, lightweight storage systems into more of digital asset management platforms, media asset management, video asset management platforms, right? And what we're seeing is this huge trend in video, this huge, massive trend in video. Like there's just so much video content out there, right? And being able to manage that content, search that content, access that content, and find what you need when you're creating content or when you're trying to communicate a message or hell, teach somebody, right? It's out there. Right. And getting a hold of it is kind of what we're helping our clients do.
Excellent.
Find that and get access to it.
Right. Of course. Well, take us into the Imagen product line. What are you guys pushing out there right now that's really helping in this regard? New, legacy, whatever's driving the bus for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, our legacy products out there. It's the go-to for most of the major sporting, industries right now, right? Like you name it, we're sitting somewhere in their stack, right? And that legacy product is a media management platform, right? It is a robust asset management platform, and everybody's using it in a different way, and that's the beauty of the product, right? It's bespoke, right? We work with our clients, consult with them to build exactly what they need. When they need it, how they need it to do, how to make it work the way they want it to. So it's that's still there. That's still going. We're adding a ton of new features to that to allow for monetization, to allow for additional levels of search, to allow for the AI. And this is something that's really big for us right now, to take over kind of some of that tagging and allowing for deeper levels of search, deeper levels of access and finding content. So that's legacy, right? And it's funny that I'm putting AI in legacy, but the new stuff we're working on right now is it's actually it's got me pumped. I'm really excited about it, and that's Imagen Go.
Okay.
And Imagen Go is it's essentially a tool that allows for anybody whether it's a, like a small college sports team or something like the NBA, right? It allows anybody to turn their content into searchable, accessible, manageable media, right? You take this old file structure, you literally drag and drop it into our system. We tag everything, not just with your own file structure, but we run it through an AI. We tag, a ball, we tag a person, a hoop, a bat, right? Like, so whatever you're trying to find, when you're putting together that reel, it's right there for you, right? Like it's magically searchable, and magically accessible. So taking all that knowledge we had from the legacy content and building on top of that, this layer of kind of ease of access, cloud managed content. So.
Sure. Yeah, that's where it all lies in, right? That metadata.
Yeah.
It's one thing to be able to access it in the cloud, but to be able to search and find what you look for and save editors' times and make genuinely better products, because I mean, you come across stuff that you didn't even know you had sitting in your archive somewhere. Exactly. Perry, real quickly before we let you go, you had mentioned earlier that COVID has kind of changed everything in this side of the business. In your view, for good, across the board, in areas, what are you keeping your eye on over maybe the next 6 to 12 months that might help you kind of guide just how dramatically it's changed?
I listen, from the angle of the camera that I'm looking at, it's all for the good. From a business perspective, right? This has affected people personally in all kinds of ways, but from a business perspective for Imagen, it has been very, very fruitful. Very helpful, and very it's allowed us to create a more robust product. And what we're seeing is content archives that are 20, 30, 40 years old. They're being digitized because people weren't able to go to those archives to search for them, to use them, right? And having that content online, having that content available for purchase, for media institutions to be able to grab and run old reels, and it's something that people weren't even thinking about it. It was like that content that's just done, it's gone, right? Like it's gonna grow, have dust and grow mold, and whatever happens to it, right? But COVID kind of it inspired people to digitize all that content, to turn it into something that is accessible. And you said data is the thing. Data is God right now. Data is the it's the holy grail. There was a time where everybody said that they were a technology company, right? You hear people, all these oracles and everybody out there. We're a technology company. Everybody's a technology company. I'm at this point, I think everybody's a data company. Sure. And if you're not a data company, and if you're not using data, and you're not using AI, and if you're not using these trends to give value to your clients, you're way behind the curve. Yeah. And you have a lot of catching up to do.
Well, hopefully, after hearing you talk, if they need to catch up, they'll get working on it, because if they haven't already, they definitely got a lot of work on it. But Perry, we really appreciate you taking the time. Thanks as always for updating us on, like what we said, an exciting side of the industry that's only gotten more and more intriguing. So we appreciate all the work that you and your company are doing to help empower sports content creators to do all of the things that we just talked about. So thanks to you and your team, and thanks for taking the time today.
My pleasure. It was my pleasure.
All right, you too. He's Perry Fetterman. He's the Chief Revenue Officer for the Americas for Imagen. Learn more about them and watch more of this SVG Sports Tech On Demand interview series now over at sportsvideo.org.